If you're in your 20s, I want to share with you 5 things that I'm currently learning in my 20s that hopefully can help you as you navigate your 20s. This is kind of interesting because I really want to create a space where we can talk about deeper things, and hopefully these videos can be sort of a launch pad for that. And so my heart behind this is initiating conversations with people in their 20s who are really looking for more and looking to talk about real things and not just surface level things. So the first thing that I've been learning is that a lot of times things are more of a marathon than they are a sprint, and specifically I'm learning that about friendships. And I am the kind of person that loves people and loves having a good amount of friends. And so in a season where I'm just navigating how to build more friendships, it's been sometimes hard because I'm like, okay, I'm ready to have a big group of friends now. And it's like, well, sometimes it doesn't work like that. And if I tried to rush that, I think I would have missed out on some of the friendships that I have currently that have been helpful. But I think the idea of a marathon also applies to things like fitness, and even hobbies like building a YouTube channel and a community on this platform, and even like building wealth for that matter. It's more of a long-term game than it is a short-term. I think the second thing that I've been learning that I'd love to share with you guys is that it's so good not to rush through life stages. I feel like for a while in my life, it was always, all right, you gotta do well in elementary school so you can go to middle school, go to high school. And once you go to high school, you gotta do well so you can go to college. And then once you go to college, you have to do well so you can get a job, and so on. And now I'm like, okay, well, graduated college, got a job, and I'm married. And it's like, so what do I do now? I know my purpose and my missions, but it's just like I've reached a place where a lot of the times growing up, people were always like, you got to get to this destination. And now I'm here and I'm like, all right, so what do we do? And so I think just not rushing through that, and really cherishing the moments that you're in, for me at least, have been good. And I'm still learning because I've not reached a place where I'm like, all right, how do I get to the next thing? I've not reached a place where I'm no longer thinking, how do I get to the next thing? So I guess that also ties into learning to be content too. The third thing is, I learned this, I think, last year or the year before, and that was the faster I can understand finances, and personal finance for that matter, the better off a lot of things will be. I didn't learn a lot about personal finance in high school because there wasn't a required class. They offered a class, but it wasn't really required, and I wish I'd learned more sooner. Even the idea of like getting on a monthly budget every month, now that I'm married with Kat, it's been so beneficial to be on the same page with our finances and how we're handling our money each month, and for long-term goals financially. There's a quote that I learned a while back, or heard a while back, from a creator I like named Sean Cannell, and he said, lifelong leaders are lifelong learners. And that's something that I've tried to apply as I was going through college, and even as I'm entering the workforce. How can I continuously learn so that I can just become a better leader, become a better Christian, become a better person, friend, husband, coworker, and so on. So always just trying to learn, whether that's through podcasts or books or through conversations with friends, is something that I've really enjoyed and have got a lot of value out of, that I think is so helpful for anyone at any stage of life. Right now, in this current season of life, I've been finding so much value out of having at least one guy friend that I can just be so real and vulnerable with, and invite them to ask any question about me and have that transparency. It's just been so good for accountability reasons, for the standard I claim to live by, and making sure I'm living up to that, and if I'm not, calling it out so that I can be aware of where I'm falling short, but also where I need to improve. But all that's to say, just having that one guy friend has just been so beneficial. If you were with me in this community while I was in college, a lot of my experience in college set me up for where I am now, and it was just so good to be able to create content around that and form a community with you guys that I hope we can continue to go and grow. I guess something too that would be beneficial to add is that I do not have it all figured out. The goal is bigger than all this, and it's not to just sit here and try to make it seem like I have it all figured out, or that I've reached a point that others haven't, or anything like that, because I am still a mess. I'm still broken. I'm still learning how to navigate all this, but I want to be able to create a place where we can do this together and share what's working and what's not working as we go on through our 20s, through our 30s, and so on.